Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. My email is still tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Back in 2011, French jewelry designer Benjamin Muller launched two watches in his new Spider collection. One was a tourbillon, and the other was the forerunner of this, the Jacob & Co. Epic X. For a period, the Spider series by Benjamin Muller was branded Muller. Then it was co-branded Jacob & Co. by Benjamin Muller, and today they are just branded Jacob & Co. Epic X. So this is the Jacob & Co. Epic X by Benjamin Muller, a sort of transitional nomenclature between the origin of the Spider series and the modern Jacob & Co. Epic X. Although mechanically and dimensionally, they've been almost the same watch the whole time. So in a combination of polymer inserts and grade 5 titanium, here DLC coated, this is the Epic X, 44 millimeters in diameter, 12.9 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 54.5 millimeters, and then 24 millimeters the spacing between the lugs. This watch with a very strong bumblebee aesthetic sits fairly well on my wrist, being super light. It's made of, well, basically rubber and sapphire and titanium. It is low enough to fit underneath the cuff, which is a little bit unexpected on a watch like this. And then you can see that across the wrist, it's out to the edge of my wrist, but it's not over the edge. So I recommend this watch for wrists my size or larger. If your wrist is smaller, you're probably going to want a smaller watch, even though it is very light and it is very thin. The lugs do help you out a little bit. As you can see, they're canted downward. But there's also some virtual flare or fight to the strap. It doesn't want to pull straight down out of the lug, so you got to think of this as being a little bit broader than its lug-to-lug dimension. The strap is designed to conform to the case. That's one of the reasons it's so stiff. It closes the gap, presents a very integrated aesthetic, and then it thins out as it moves away from the case. On the bottom, you can see a brand new Jacob & Co. strap, no crimping, no gouging. And then on the top, we have large rectangular scale alligator leather in black with a semi-gloss finish and a monotone stitch. All of this paired with a Jacob & Co. buckle that includes little recesses in its profile to match the profile of the case itself. We got some Jacob & Co. branding here. This is grade 5 tie, and you know that because there are polished facets. Grade 5 tie is hypoallergenic, and it is light like grade 2, but it's a little bit harder than grade 2. This watch, I would say it has a bumblebee aesthetic, but some of the elements feel a little bit more school bus. So you can see we have these inserts in the case profile that add a little bit of color. They're close to matching the strap, though not exactly. So there are some quirks to this watch. The lugs are stepped out. Remember, this is originally from a model line called Spider, and you can really see why this would be described as a Spider. It looks stanced and ready to pounce. We have a Jacob & Co. crown, which has a combination of matte finish and polish, several rows of knurling, and then that yellow accenting. And then we have a case flank with a bezel that has several different facets leading up to a flange that abuts a sapphire surrounding a dial that is also one and the same as the movement. This is the JCAM 45. It is actually designed and built for Jacob & Co. by movement house Concepto, but it is a movement that is exclusive to the series. So you're not going to see something exactly like this in another customer of Concepto's watch. Now, taking a quick look, there is no luminescence here. So I'm going to move the hands out of the way. We have a balance, which beats away at 4 Hertz, 28,800 vibrations per hour, Edicron adjustment for fine regulation as well as beat error correction. We have a large open mainspring barrel under a Jacob & Co. logo that allows us to see the coiling of the mainspring. It has a manual wind 48-hour power reserve. All this pivot on 21 joules. Water resistant down to 50 meters. You can see this was back when the Epic X was still co-branded. Later on, Muller's name would be expunged, but it was originally his design, and for many years he got at least partial credit. You can see on the reverse side, it's nicely decorated movement, not haute horlogerie, but quite good. I would put it on par with the finish you'll find on, for example, Zenith, Glasuta Original, JLC, or Audemars Piguet series production movement. We have lovely little polished chaton cups, polished in silver for the pivots of the drivetrain, and you can see on the underside that remarkable extended This is actually a clutch spring right here. This is a signature of Concepto, and you can see the motion works. Let me do my best to withdraw the crown and show you how this works. But you can see that you've got that clutch spring and the clutch right there to engage the setting and the winding systems. There's satin on the top of these steel components, and then a credible amount of beveling on their side, which you can see quite well. We have solarization on the crown wheel core right there, as well as on the barrel itself, and you can see that the click for the barrel to prevent it from running backwards is an extraordinarily extended and overarching spring, and then it attaches to the click adjacent. It's just a good-looking movement that's open, airy, and nicely fills the case. And it's interesting how the claws or the pincers of the spider, so to speak, extend with polymer elements on the movement itself, and the color black and yellow and silver and red. It's an animated and intriguing thing. If you wish you could wear your watch upside down because you want to see the movement full time, this is definitely for you, and it has the advantage of being from a brand that's still very much around to take care of you. Although the Spider and Benjamin Muller are long gone from the watchmaking space, this will always be able to go back to Jacob & Co. when it needs time in the spa. Reach out to me. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.